My great-great-grandmother was Lydia Sharpe, born in October 1844, Field of Mars in Sydney. One of her daughters, Mary Gates, married my great-grandfather, Jabez Packer. Lydia's parents were John Sharpe and Mary Ann Skinner. They came to Australia on the Amelia Thompson in March 1838 with 3 children, George 11, Eliza 7 and Louise 3. All 3 children died within the first month of the voyage due to typhoid and smallpox. In all, 45 of the 268 passengers died on this voyage. In 2015, I was fortunate to be able to visit Brightling and the surrounding villages and the nearby market town of Burwash and Battle. From the information in the 1841 census and from maps made of England in 1890, I was able to trace the likely home of Mary Skinner's father, Gabriel, just before he died. The family had been brought out to Australia by an immigration agent, John Marshall, from the area around Brightling. The rector of Brightling in Sussex had certified as to John Sharpe's good character. John Sharpe was listed as the son of John Rolfe.
Mountfield Church. Old stones in Mountfield Church. Can't read the inscriptions very well. Beautiful old church.
There were 2 other Rolfe families on board also. William and Elizabeth, and also Jeremiah and Sarah. They too suffered deaths on the passage. Another Rolfe, John, born 1813, came as a bounty immigrant on the Suzanne in 1839, the same vessel as Henry Skinner, Mary's cousin, came on. It is most likely these are all relatives, but it is yet to be proven. Mary Skinner had a child, Alfred Skinner, prior to her marriage to John Sharpe. Alfred was born in 1824 and his father was named in court as James Fairhall, and who subsequently paid his fare to Australia when he left in June 1838, a couple of months after his mother, Mary, had. Alfred settled in Parramatta, probably with his parents, and then began driving a bullock dray. He then went to Mudgee area and finally bought land near Galarganbone.
Well, that's an old home. Oh, and there's the churchyard. Oh, this is fantastic. So we'll get you to park up here anywhere.
Yeah.
Wherever you like.
Very old.
On the grounds of the gate of the church. It's called the Old Schoolhouse. Brightling Church. The road in to Brightling from the east. Brightling Church. Beautiful church. Debbie, help me take photographs. Beautiful old church. Leaving Brightling towards Ellington.
Of these walls and things like
All
that.
right. What was his name?
Mad Jack Fuller.
Fuller.
Yeah, it was so he could pay the people in Brightling who were all unemployed during the winter.
That.
Right, we're going down towards the corner. So there's lots of little buildings, they're called follies, around Brightling, which he sort of commissioned the building of.
200 yards.
Swan Inn. It's a nice looking place.
Yeah.
This is Woods Corner, I
Woods
think.
Corner, yeah.
Yeah, which is really the edge of Darlington anyway, but look at this map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where we came.
I'm just going to stop and turn this sat nav off.
Oh, right,
It
that's
keeps
all
telling
right.
me to turn.
Darlington. That's probably it. Oh, this is a nice little village. Old homes here, very old homes. Darlington. There's a nice old home. Perryman's Lane. It's down here that they showed up on the 1841 census. Gabriel Skinner. Just near Perryman's Farm. New Woodman's Farm. Wow, pub is beautiful, good. Woodman's Farm. Now the road to Burwash. Just go up to the main intersection and I'll get out and take a couple of photographs. I'll go. Burwash. Lots of old buildings. This would have probably been the main market town they would have come to, with Winching Church. Battle. I think it's been well looked after. Lots of old houses. I think if you just let us down, or let us off just down here somewhere. Is that what?
Also living in Parramatta was Charles Skinner, Mary's uncle, who came to Australia in 1839, aged 42, with his wife Eliza. His son Henry had preceded him. Henry Skinner eventually settled in the Tweed River district, in the area near Tumbulgum. He was a sawer, like his father and grandfather. Charles was brother of Gabriel Skinner, Mary Ann Sharpe's father, or Mary Ann Skinner's father. Soon after arrival, John and Mary Sharpe moved to Port Macquarie, where their first Australian-born daughter, Mary Ann, was born in March 1840, and then Lydia was born in Sydney in 1844. She had had a previous son, John, before she married George Gapes. Mary Ann Skinner Sharpe died in 1881 at Granville, aged 86. John Sharpe died in 1885, aged 83. Mary Ann Skinner had a sister Elizabeth, who lived in Brightling area, as shown in the 1841 census. She lived about 8 kilometres from Brightling. She had married Jonathan Wrigglesford in Mountfield. Elizabeth and John Wrigglesford also came to Australia in 1856 on the Vocalist with 5 of their children and settled in the area of Western Sydney. A James Wrigglesford, 19 years, son of Robert and Mary, came out in 1858. It says his uncle Jonathan lived in Parramatta. In 1856, Lydia Wrigglesford, their daughter, aged 18, arrived on the Herald. It stated then her parents were living at Liverpool. Mary Sharpe married James Leighton, a labourer, in 1860 in Parramatta, and Lydia Sharpe married George Gapes and lived in South Street, Granville.